Okay guys, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it. And this car's got huge plans coming ahead. One of the craziest 12-volt systems we've ever seen. There's a lot of partners that have come on board and we're gonna absolutely smash this build. So if you wanna see one of the best 60s in Australia, I know it's not a Sahara, but it's gonna be up there. So much more is planned. Turbo, tires, lift, tent, you name it. Massive 12-volt system going in here. So stick around. A lot of partners have jumped on board. Get excited like I am and hit the subscribe button. All right, g'day guys, Matt Preston, Built Cruisers, and in today's video, we're doing the rear setup plus a few other mods. Okay guys, look, I know it's great to have mods on the roof and stuff, but at the moment this build, I want it to be more of just like a classic car, kind of stock looking. And obviously to do that, you know, we kind of have a Trojan shovel and treads on the roof, okay? So my plan is to take all this stuff on the roof off, roof rack off, light bar off, all that sort of stuff. And also front bull bar, both aerials as well. And then it's gonna be pretty close to original looking. So yeah, I'm gonna start taking off some stuff. Nice shovel there. Nice, well there's a brand new set of treads ready to go. So probably keep these in the 65. I do take it off when I get stuck, but yeah, I've only ever really had max tracks, so I don't really know much about the treads, but you know, they look pretty nice. All right, how's this? Just set up the little runner rack Sunseeker awning here. Never had one of these awnings before. I think it's a 2 meter by 2 meter, maybe. But yeah, it seems pretty good quality. And the pole's interesting though, because there's like 3 bits you got to turn instead of just 1, if that makes any sense. I think that's for adjustability, but yeah, I'm definitely never going to use this again. So I decided to show you while it's up. Just like that. Okay, this is definitely some homemade DIY job. You can see here, it's got some tech screw brackets with the tread mounts. It's got silicone on it everywhere. Now look at the screws, they're different. So, you know, it is what it is, embrace the DIY, but yeah, this just looks a bit tacky, so I'm gonna take all this sort of stuff off and give it that more classic, original look. Guys, I've literally just taken the side step off, and to me, it looks so much better. It's like night and day difference. This is like, as you can see, a stained alloy sort of color, whereas now, there's just nothing there, and I think it looks so much sleeker, so much nicer. And because it's got such a small lift, it's not really, like, it doesn't really affect me at all for getting in. So definitely gonna take the other one off as well. Okay guys, it's very exciting right now. We have got the back of the car, as you can see, completely undone. Now we have got brand new drawers and a kitchen slide going in the car today, very exciting. But we've pulled up the carpet and we're just trying to figure out where the best points are to mount it. Because, well, the XDM kitchen pantry slide here comes with 4 massive bolts, and we may have to drill some holes into the floor and bolt it properly, just because they've only got these tiny little bolts back here, which are just for these little hooks. There's no like proper big holes for us to go through. Whereas on the Prado 90 series, it had seats in the back and had some really big holes we could use, and it was all good. We didn't have to drill any holes. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, for now, carpet's up, gonna vacuum it all out, get it all nice and neat. And we'll try and put the drawers with the carpet still in, carpet being on the bottom. So we still have that bit of that sound dampener for when we're doing the long drives. And then hopefully in the future, we can do car builders in the back here. Okay guys, you wouldn't believe it, but these handles have actually been riveted in. Same story as before, but the previous owner, I think, was a roofer, because there's silicone in the gutters for the wires for the light bar, and he's riveted these handles on, which is like the most stupid thing you could probably do, because he's riveted them through the cards into the frame, and they're not even good. So I'm literally getting a grinder to grind them flat because the rivets aren't fully in properly, and then so I can get a drill and drill them out like normal. So all these handles are a write-off. They're going to have to get a grinder put through them. And yeah, moral of the story is, don't use rivets on a car ever, unless it's for like checker plate, Bullbar or something. Don't use it for interior mods. How fun is this, guys? I just pulled back this panel here, and this bladder, it's like a little sack that hangs on these hooks for the, I think it's for the rear window washer, which is pretty funny. It looks like it's never had water in it. But that's so funny, I didn't think they'd make it like that back in the day. But a little bag that just hooks on. And then yeah, you can see up here, these two rivets are so annoying, and it's literally gone straight through this nice trim panel here. So that's not ideal. And you can see he hasn't riveted it properly, so when you drill it, it's still, they stick out so far, and oh, it's just a nightmare. And that's why you don't rivet handles on the interior. Okay guys, how sick is this? So this is an XTM single drawer. Now, I know XTM is more of like a sort of cheap low-end brand, and on the inside this does look very similar, if not the exact same, to King's. But the reason I went with their drawers that I bought with my own money is because of the finish. So as we know in these, they have a really nice sort of black aluminium like finish with no carpet on the front, and I think it looks quite smart. And by the time I'll take that badge off, sorry XTM, but I'm gonna take the badge off that, and so it'll just be all this sort of like nice black sort of look, and I think it'll look quite smart. And we also do have the XTM big kitchen pantry here, which I'll show you in a sec, and it's an absolute beast. 580 bucks they are for the club members. And this is going to be like the party piece of the whole rear setup, because it just comes out so far. It comes out like almost 2 meters from the back. So I'm going to unbox this. We'll chuck 2 drawers in here on the right, and then this one here on the left, kitchen pantry slide. And I'll show you my thoughts and what my plan is. Okay guys, how sick is this? This is the plan, okay? So 2 900mm XTM drawers on the right, and then the kitchen slide here on the left. Now, the reason I've gone for a double stack instead of like 2 traditional ones is mainly because of the kitchen pantry here. I wanted to be able to have that on the lowest possible on the floor as I can, because when this car gets bigger lift and tires, it's still going to be at a decent height. Whereas obviously if I have it above here, it's not going to work. And also it's very wide. That's actually wider than these drawers. So it'd look pretty silly if you had it the other way around. Now, the idea is that this section here will be sort of like a big storage section. And I might have to get some black aluminium wings here just to neaten it up a little bit. And then on this side in here, that's going to be where all the 12 volt will be, the battery, and a huge upright fridge right here. So pretty much that side will have a big timber wall and the 12 volt stuff on that side. But yeah, the main reason I went for these drawers, because they're more of a cheap brand, is yeah, like I was saying before, for the black aluminium finish, I think that looks really nice. And they're just easy and cheap and affordable, and they don't cost a heap of money. And I will say one thing that is really cool about these compared to the Kings is in the back here, they've got these 2 little black pull tabs, and when you pull them, the drawer actually slide out. So it's really easy to sort of take it in and out quickly. Whereas the Kings, you've got 2 like Allen key nuts either side, and it takes so much longer. So you've got 4 like Allen key nuts to undo, and it's really awkward getting in there. Whereas this, you just pull it and you're done. So props to XTM, that's actually quite nice. And I do like the black carpet finish over the sort of bluish finish you get with the Kings gears, I'm sure you guys know. So yeah, but the main reason this whole setup's happening is for this right here, the kitchen pantry. Now, obviously, this is your like traditional big slide. You could put like a big 90 litre chest fridge here, which is great. And I'm tall enough for that, that'd be good. But unfortunately, by the time we get the bigger lift and tires on, this won't cut it at all. So this will probably never slide out, unfortunately. This will probably stay in this position here with an upright fridge, probably like an 85 litre upright fridge just here. And then that way it's easy to get in and out no matter how high the car gets. And it's just one door you straight in. You don't have to like slide it out, get in there, and you know, it's a bit more of a process. Now, that's really cool, but the bottom section, which I've shown you guys, is one of the best parts, because you pull this part out here and you get this big prep area. And obviously you do have the tailgate on the 60, which is really cool. That's also a prep area, but this is just bigger. and I wanted something that could slide out really far and prep everything on. But the best part, as we know, if you've seen these, is there's actually another one, and this is also just a floating table as well. And it does actually have your little heat shield here if you've got a cooker. And as you can see here, it's already almost, I don't know what's that, like 1.8 meters out from the car now. And it's just so nice because that's all floating bench space. And if you do have something heavy to put on it, you just flip the legs out and put your cooker on. So it's pretty sick. And because it's the Gen 2 model, it has one more drawer, which is the cutlery drawer. I'm not sure if you can even see that on camera, but little drawer here, it's about 600 mil long, so it's pretty long, and it's very shallow, but this will be perfect for all your cutlery gear, maybe like big spoons, knives, all that sort of stuff. So it comes out really far. It comes out on like 2.5 meters. It's quite ridiculous, but it is meant to be, this is going to be sort of the main kitchen hub of the whole setup. This will be the party piece. This will be where everything happens for cooking, and I will no longer need to carry a table in the car because this is just so big, it's going to do that job for it. So obviously the main disadvantage of losing is space, because in the Prado, I'm kind of happy with that setup with 2 drawers on the bottom and an upright fridge on the right, battery stuff there, and then you've got a huge storage space for big items, chairs, you know, if you took a swag, that sort of stuff. Whereas this one will have a bit less space because you've only got this section here now, because that's going to be your fridge. And you have room behind the fridge, but yeah, this will just be camp chairs, all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Okay guys, well, it's currently the next day and I've officially had this car for 2 weeks, which is pretty exciting. It's absolutely flown by. It feels a lot longer than that. And we have done quite a few changes. So obviously all the stuff off the roof rack is on the roof, is all gone, and that's now blank canvas, and it looks really good, and you know, in hindsight kind of protects the roof a little bit because there's not metal up there, you know, that water can get trapped in and rust the roof, so that's good. Also, you may notice this little aerial here is now a bit shorter. I'll be probably taking the rest of that off camera just because I don't want a UHF aerial right at the back of the tailgate. But the rear, let's show what we've done. So, as you saw, we've installed these drawers properly and now they're fully in, okay? So I'm really stoked about this. We managed to get the carpet still in there. It also acts as a bit of like a dampener for these getting squished on them with the bolts. Now, it's unfortunate, but I did have to actually drill holes in the floor, and you may know there is the diesel tank is right under the floor, so you've got to sort of drill around it as best you can and not obviously drill into it. And then the spare wheels there as well, so there's a lot going on under there, and there's no seat mounts, at least in this model, for me to mount the drawers to, so I had to drill holes, bolt it properly, but it is really strong, which is obviously really important. So over here, 2 XTM 900mm drawers, orange stickers off, so it gives it that clean look. And yeah, these are really cool. So they just slide in and out. And then obviously here on the left is the party piece, the slide out pantry. Now, right now at the moment, as you can see, there's no fridge in here, but this does obviously still slide out, but obviously we're not going to be using this feature at all, essentially, unless I want to do a stand-up fridge and it slides out and behind it you have storage. That could be cool, something a bit different, but I'll probably end up leaving it. And then obviously this, which is my favorite part of the whole setup, is the giant table. So this is obviously the main table. Now, there is actually normally a little piece here which is for like a windbreaker when you got the stove there. But I've taken it out because I want it to be more of an instant table. I don't want to have to move that every single time. And there's also used to be a bungee cord here, but I've also taken that out as well. So now it's just a blank canvas, which is really nice. And obviously, because this is the newest model they've done on XTM, there's also that little cutlery drawer, which is really cool. Now this is fully self-standing at the moment, which is really cool. I love it. And you know, you can put some weight on it. I wouldn't absolutely, you know, sit on that. But it's really going to come down to the bracket ratings of the slides and also the mounting hardware at the back of the drawer. But there's obviously the 2 legs in here as well, which you can flip out if you've got the stove on here, which is what I'll do. But super happy with this. The sink, I probably won't be using that much because it's really far at the back. I'll probably end up just taking it out like that. And I'll probably just go over here, maybe do it over here. Makes a bit more sense to me. If this was in my Prado, like a barn door sort of setup, you probably could use that because you won't have the tailgate in the way to limit you to getting in the back. Now, like I said before, the kitchen slide has legs that fall out, and it comes with these two little sort of feet. So the idea is when you pop out the leg, it's just a normal pole that would go into like the dirt. But what you can do is get your little sort of different leg here, shove that in, then push that down, and that will act as a bigger base. And that's obviously good if you're on sand, then it just won't sink in and not do anything. So it does come with them. Not sure how practical they'll actually be when we're using it, but good to know that you have those if you need them. Cool, so in this bottom drawer here, just have a few basics now. I'm getting the car started, but just got some like oils, brake fluid, zip ties, drains, torch. This is the little tie down kit that actually comes with the kitchen slide, but because I'm not having a chest fridge, I'm technically not going to be using that, but also got that as well. And then yeah, just miscellaneous nuts and bolts, keys for the drawer, that sort of stuff, and some rags and a little pressure sprayer. So that's what's in the bottom drawer for now. Not really a camping setup, just like getting ready to build the car setup. Then in the top here, literally just got this King's bag, which is pretty good bang for buck. It was like $9. And in here, I've literally just got like Milwaukee power tools, hammers, chisels, that sort of stuff, just so I can work on the car, you know, have everything fly around in the back and just stay organized. And I think for like $9, you can't really go wrong, even if it only lasts like a year, because obviously it is like a little bit on the cheap side with quality, but I was pretty stoked with that. And then up here as well, I've just got pry bar earmuffs and the big wind flap for the kitchen table over there. So that's how the 60 is looking at the moment with storage. Okay guys, so we're finally getting rid of this disgusting bar. Now, we've got this bar here made at work. Weighs about 25 kilos, it's 6mm steel. So this is gonna be a pretty hefty boy, but this is also quite big and ugly, so we're gonna weigh this as well. But essentially, UHF has been fully disconnected. We've run it through the firewall properly, so that's ready to come off. And then yeah, this has got 2 bolts, this will just come off. And hopefully, these brackets will line up and it'll just sit there. And then by the time we grind all this flat, paint it all black, and put the number plate back on, it will look pretty good and almost like the Toyota factory stock bumper. Okay, we've just taken off the front bar and look how much better that looks. I think it looks so sick without it. The mounts look a bit funny, but hopefully this will mount up. And yeah, it's a shame you can't run them with no bumper, because I just think that looks so good. So this one will be taking the number plate off and then potentially selling it if we can. Okay guys, so at the front of the 60 here, as you've seen, we have actually gotten rid of that big cattle alloy looking bar. Obviously super practical, stops kangaroos like no tomorrow and quite light, but it did sort of hide the front end entirely, and it made it look real grandpa spec, and obviously I want this to look, you know, quite nice. And I think 60s are really iconic for also the look, so if you're just going to hide the look of it, then like what's the point? So we've gone from more of a traditional bar. Now this is obviously custom made, actually made at work. So this is just some steel. I think it's 150mm by 50mm, and it's 6mm thick, so it's really, really strong. And it's been essentially painted black and had 4 little tabs welded to it. And yeah, the bolts go through, and it's very like traditional. Like if you buy the black bumpers from Japan for a 60, they'll look pretty much like this, except a little bit thinner and have plastic caps. And it's mounted the same way. Like these bolts are exposed and it's flush. So it's pretty close to the original look without the big price tag, because this was free and then I spray painted it black. Whereas if I was to buy one, especially a chrome one, they're like $1,300. Because I love to get a chrome one, but yeah, they're just really expensive. And this is just a temporary solution for now, because I am planning on getting an actual bar so that I can have my spotties, aerial, winch, all that sort of stuff on there, and obviously protect the front end a bit more, whereas this is just more of a like Japan spec fashionable sort of look now. And the number plate, if you're wondering why it's hanging slightly low, it's because when I get new plates that will be slimline, that will actually be dead center of the bar. So we've kind of allowed for that. But yeah, super happy with it. I think it looks quite good as well. And it does weigh 25 kilos, so it is really heavy, but it's also very strong. So take that as your wheel. Now the badge here, you can buy them like genuine secondhand for like 150 bucks, which I think is really expensive. So I'm just probably going to paint this white again and make that look good because it's a bit faded. And yeah, I'm super happy with how it's turning out. I would like to get, especially down the line, probably some clear indicators, because these are the orange. Some people probably disagree, but I think these will look really good if they're clear. And same with the ones on the side. Okay guys, get keen for a future episode on the 60 because we're going to be doing a little 2-inch shackle lift on this bad boy here. Believe me, it needs it. It has the 33s and we think a stock lift, but just needs that extra 25mm lift with these because a 2-inch shackle obviously only lifts at about an inch overall. So get very excited, that is coming up in a future video. Okay guys, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can do it. And this car's got huge plans coming ahead. One of the craziest 12-volt systems we've ever seen. There's a lot of partners that have come on board and we're gonna absolutely smash this build. So if you wanna see one of the best 60s in Australia, I know it's not a Sahara, but it's gonna be up there. So much more is planned. Turbo, tires, lift, tent, you name it. Massive 12-volt system going in here. So stick around. A lot of partners have jumped on board. Get excited like I am and hit the subscribe button. Okay guys, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I was mentioning before, 2-inch shackle lift coming very shortly. And we've also got an actual lift from a company coming, very, very exciting. And we'll catch you guys next time on Built Cruisers.